Speak up so we can all hear you.
Speaking of a job, did you have a job?
Ah, the Protestant question. I love that question. Got to do something about these stage hands here. All right, we got it? Okay. So I was in school, and I was in grad school at the time, and prior to that I was a carpenter. And what happened was I had hurt myself, and I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it anymore. And I was curled up in the bed in the fetal position, feeling really sorry for myself. And the woman I was seeing at the time said, "What's something you've always wanted to do?" Which I thought was a cruel question, considering I was suicidal, right? Like, remind me of what else I didn't do in my life. So I said, "Well, I always wanted an education." She goes, "Get your sorry ass out of bed. Let's go for a walk." So, guys do anything to keep the peace. I'll go with you. But I'm going to still feel sorry for myself. And when she took me, I was living in LA at the time, and we walked over to UCLA, and we're in the quad. And she goes, "You can go here." I said, "Guys like me don't wind up in places like this." She goes, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I'm 50. She goes, "I don't even have a high school diploma. I'm broke." She goes, "Oh, being broke, that's the best time to go to school." Now, I didn't know what she was talking about. But I went to a community college, and so I was going to try. She said, she really encouraged me, and so so now that I walked into school for the first time in like 75,000 years, I want to get my shit together by Friday. So I want to take like 90 credits. And so I saw that first you got to see a counselor, right? And the counselor said, "Well, Frank, before you make that decision, let me make a suggestion." She goes, "Why don't you take one class that you really like and acclimate yourself to the environment and experience what success feels like at the end of the class?" I thought, wow, that sounds so grown up. Jeez, man, you must be a great mom. Anyway, that's what I did. So I took a class in geographic anthropology. Right? I love geography, love anthropology. It was a nice mix. And I took this class, and I loved it. I did all these dorky things, like I read somewhere if you sit in front of the class, you get a higher grade. You sat in front of the class. Everybody, when we had to do draw maps or something, I would always go to Kinko's, and it's a printing place, and I laminate everything, put it in the folder. Meanwhile, I was like really dorky that way. But I got an A. And at the end of class, at the end of the semester, at the end of the term, I was really appalled. All the kids just get up and leave. They don't say goodbye or nothing. I was like really surprised. I said, but I went up to the professor, and this is germane to actually to how the United Way actually works. A little plug there. So I go to this guy and I said, "Professor, I want to thank you very much for really extending yourself, and you did such a great job. And I got so much out of the class. Thank you." And shook his hand, and he held my hand, shaking his hand, and he looks at me, he's taller than me, and he looks at me. He was a real quiet, like Swedish type dude, right? Those guys don't talk much. And he looks at me and he goes, "What are you going to do now?" I said, "Well, Professor, I really don't know." And he looked at me and he said, "You belong here." And in that moment, I was so present, and I heard it. I still hear it now. It went right through my heart like a hot knife through butter. And I believed him. And those 3 words were so powerful. You belong here. I hadn't heard that in so long. Well, fast forward, I got my high school diploma, got my generals done, got admitted to UCSB, got a degree in history, then went to graduate school, worked on an MA in humanities, and here I am.